I'm back. I'm back. Let me turn this music down. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Is this thing on? Yes, it is. Okay. Good morning. Welcome to the show. I got off a plane literally just 24 hours ago. Oh no, I was still in the air. We planned it at noon. But holy moly, was this a good time over in Hungary, Austria, Germany, and the Czech Republic. And it was, holy smokes, it was great. I'm going to have more details on my alternate channel. Probably, I'll put it on Marty's Big Journey. I was going to use, that Marty channel, but I decided to use Marty's Big Journey. I'll put some links to it as I start posting on there again. But oh my goodness, Lady Boomer and I and our friend Kay just had a marvelous time. We saw so much stuff over there. It was phenomenal. I got to tell you. Let me just let's stop that because I want to get this going. Anyway, first of all, we got a sponsor today. Thank you, Jimmy Das Hotep, for dropping a 20 spot in the tip jar. Said, let's go. Hope you had a bomb vacation. I shouldn't say bomb when I'm on a plane and a boat, but yes, it was amazing. It was amazing. If you follow me on Twitter, I put a couple clips and photos up there. I'll be posting on my Instagram, which is that Marty, and I'll be posting on Marty's Big Journey Germany on my one of my other two YouTube channels. The ones that I use are barely, but I'm going to be putting a lot of stuff on Marty's Big Journey because that's my travel and random beauty stuff vacation, as in beauty as in flowers and nature and shit. So anyway, I am very happy to be back. I hope you're glad I'm back. Let's get the intro and get this thing started. Here we go. Just play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dawg Knight. Yes. Let's stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I am your host, Marty, also known as P. Dawg Knight on the internet, and welcome back to the P. Dawg Knight channel. And I am very happy to be back. Like I said, as we went on a boat cruise, that's why I was gone all last week and yesterday. Why am I only hearing us out of one ear? Check 1, 2. Well, I think I'm deaf in my right ear right now. Well, anyway, that's just because as long as you guys can hear me, I'm fine. I still have, and you go on a plane and sometimes you get the ears kind of stop up and whatever. And then you go, hey, I can't hear out of this ear. And so this one, the left ear popped, but the right ear still hasn't popped from the plane. And then part of it was I was eating on the plane and I had earbuds in, and just for whatever reason, this will not recover. So it'll recover eventually. We'll see what happens. So, anyway, and again, thank you, Jimmy Das Hotep. That's very generous of you. And we'll need it because, oh my God, I didn't realize it was going to cost us $800 to board our dog in a boarding place. We would have had a friend watch it had we known that. But anyway, because they quoted us a little bit less than that. But then we realized that, oh wait, we were gone like 3 days longer than we had got a quote for. So anyway, whatever. Let's say good morning, everybody. And then I just, look, this is kind of a catch-up day for me. I mean, I know there's a lot of things in the news, and if there's stuff you guys want to talk about, I'm going to ask you that towards the end of the show. I'm just going to go through some headlines that I saw this morning, and we'll see what's happening right now. But like, for example, things that I'm probably not going to get caught up too much on is like the teacher in Canada with the fake hoots, that weirdo. Everyone's already talked about that, and I'm not scratching my head going, what the fuck is that? They can't get rid of that teacher? Are you serious? Oh, because it's trans. You can't upset the trans people. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about that because it's already been talked about to death, and I just saw that and I'm like, okay. Anyway, Let's say good morning, though, because I want to get into the headlines that I have. So there's going to be a lot of stuff that I missed that we're just not going to get to. And I'll probably get to some of it during the week, but who knows? We'll see. Anyway, first in the chat today is our friend Tyler Alexander, who gets the bell. And let's hear first. Thank you, Tyler, for being here so bright and early. Also, good morning, Mike Savage, Blarg, D.I. Freighter Watcher. Oh, D.I., I have a lot of video of things moving in the water that you like to watch, boats and ships and barges and shit. I'll be showing you. That'll be on that channel. That channel's called Marty's Big Journey. Should I put a link to it up here? Maybe let me hear. And I don't put a lot of stuff on there, but I'm going to be now that I have like 4 years of footage of things that I probably could be. I'm not going to do it now. I'll have the link out here later. Oh my gosh, I have so much footage. Let's put it this way. You know how when you do video and photos on your phone, and then like if you have an Android phone, it automatically uploads to Google, and if you have an iPhone, it automatically uploads to the cloud. I looked at my phone yesterday when I was getting on the plane, and it said that I had 899 photos and videos that were still waiting to be uploaded to the cloud. Let's just say we took a lot of pictures and video. And for me, like Lady Boomer, it was all pictures. She took some video, but I took mostly video. So imagine how much video that is. And luckily, I have a phone that has, my new phone has like 1 terabyte of storage on it. So it's okay, and I can download it to my, I have a little portable one that has like 5 terabytes. I throw it on there, but that's a lot of video. I won't be using it all, but when I do these clips, I'm probably going to do a half a day at a time and just make them separate videos, and then I'll do one longer video. But like I said, if you follow me on Twitter, you saw my clip of us taking the carriage ride around the Old Town Square in Prague. I might even pop that up at the end of the show. But anyway, that might be my outro after a while. Because I'm going to update my standby and my outro and with all that stuff. Anyway, let me get back to the hellos. Good morning, Selected Boys in the house. Also, good morning to Sheograth. What's up, my brother? Let's see. Jimmy Das Hotep, of course, the first sponsor of the day, and the only sponsor of the day. Good morning, Advocatus Diablo, the Devil's Advocate, Somnambule Nation, Tyler F., Wikipedia snippet. Who else is here? Jaeger Pony, my favorite Canadians in the house. Man Squatch, what's happening? And thank you for the welcome back. I appreciate it. Also, Simon Wolfwood, what's up? Asian Research Directorate. Maddie's in the house. And, is that it? Is that everybody? Well, that's a good start. We got, what? Let's see, how many people is this? We got 14, 13 people in the house, 9 likes. Hit the like button, share the stream, because I've been gone for so long, some people may have forgotten about me. And so I hope you are ready to do that. Oh my goodness. I do have a cold too, so I apologize if I start coughing. I'm not going to put any cough syrup in the old coffee. I do have my cup of reparations right there. This is in the Monet cup. I got some new cups while I was over there. By the way, if I were near retirement age, which I am kind of near retirement age, aren't I? It's coming up eventually. I would seriously, if I ever thought of being an expat somewhere, I seriously would consider living in Hungary. God, the cost of living is so cheap there. It's amazing. And it's somewhat the same in Prague, but especially in Hungary. When we were in Budapest, they were talking about, the guy was talking about, his rent's really high, and he says like the equivalent of like $400 a month, and I was like, oh my God, is that all? I don't know. Anyway, Nomad's in the house. What's up, Nomad? Where did it go? There it is. Stop. Hammer time. Good morning, Nomad. So, anyway, am I losing people? What's going on here? It says there's less people here. Maybe it's just a YouTube thing. I don't know. YouTube gets mad when you don't post every day. What was I talking about? I don't even remember. I don't even remember. You came back from Central Europe with a strange new cough. No. I had a cold one left, and then I didn't take care of myself that much because we were too busy running around every day. Did you bring back my busty Hungarian redhead tire? I apologize. We failed, and there were a couple of fine individuals over there, but like I told you, Lady Boomer did not think it would be a good idea to be me bringing home, fine young, attractive women to, even if it was just for tire. So I'm sorry. Good morning, Civic Magic. How you doing? What was my point? Oh, we're gonna get caught up. We're gonna get caught up in stuff today. Now, I didn't look at any of the trending. Budapest is two cities. Yes, it is. Buda is on one side of the river, and Pest is on the other side of the river, and it's all very beautiful. It's interesting. Budapest, and I'm saying it the way they say it in Budapest. Budapest, not Budapest. Budapest. I can't remember which side's which, but I think it's the Buda side is the wealthier side, and the Pest side is the less wealthier side. It was cool because so Budapest got 60% of Budapest was damaged in World War II, right? I mean, 60% was destroyed. So there's all these old buildings, but then it was also taken over by the Soviets. They're part under the Iron Curtain when the Soviets had their kind of little Soviet empire, right? And so it's interesting. There's this weird mix of these beautiful old architectural structures, some dating back to the 1400s, some beautiful churches and all this other stuff. But then in kind of in between them, there's all this very boxy, weird Soviet housing. Like the it was just like it was just weird, but the main city had mostly beautiful old buildings or cool old churches. We went to so many different churches while we were there. Some of the Gothic churches built in the 14 and 1500s, and then there was a lot of stuff. A lot of the, like for example, in Prague, most of the city was built. I mean, Prague was dated back to the Roman Empire. It was part of one of the main cities of the Roman Empire. So there's Roman Gothic churches. There's churches from every century since then, and it's just and Prague did not get damaged almost at all in World War II. So Prague is pretty much completely intact, and so there's so many things we saw. We saw one cathedral or this one church where the guys who assassinated the number 3 in the Nazi Empire, who was in Prague, ruling over that part of the world. The Czech Republic was one of the first countries that Germany took over, and they took it over without any bloodshed because they had this pact with the English, the French. I want to say Roosevelt's envoy, which was who's the guy who I can't remember the names anyway. But anyway, they had the 4 countries kind of said, well, Germany wants to take over this area, and if they basically made this agreement that Germany wouldn't try to forcibly take over any other part of the world if you just give us this section of the world, right? And so they kind of threw Czechoslovakia under the bus. But then 4 months later, they rolled into Poland and started taking over Poland, and that's kind of how during the whole story started. But there was this church we went to where the number 3 guy in the German basically hierarchy was Neville Chamberlain. Thank you, Man Squatch. The number 3 guy was ruling over Czechoslovakia, and the people who were resisting, they were killing people, and everyone who just tried to resist the Germans. And so they had this suicide mission, these 2 guys that parachuted in. There's a movie about it called Anthropoid. It's a movie called Anthropoid. Anyway, they had the suicide mission where they're going to go assassinate this German, the chancellor of the area, right? And so they got some informants. They found out where they met the guy's mechanic, and they told him this route he's going to be driving on this in his car, and this is going to go around this short turn. And they so they threw this bomb and it blew up his car, but he survived the initial attack, but then he died a week later. Well, anyway, the cathedral where these guys were held up in the catacombs of the cathedral, and then there's like 5 other guys with them. They're all held up there, and someone, someone gave them up. So they tortured this one man who knew where they were, and eventually the guy gave them up. And there's, you see the place where these guys are held up, and they ended up committing suicide, but they ended up being, they're heroes in Czechoslovakia because this whole situation was the reason Prague was spared, as far as the war goes. But there's still bullet holes in the side of the church from 1945 where these guys were held up. They haven't fixed them. They left them there as a reminder. And then these guys are like big time heroes in Prague. So it's just things like that you see and you go, I didn't know that side of the World War II. But anyway, there's so much history we learned and so many things we saw. It was really, really, really cool. All right. But I'm not going to talk about that anymore today. Pardon me. First, real quick, thank you, Jimmy Dazotep, Simon Wolfwood, Man Squatch for tweeting out the show. Please share the show. You can, and also hit the like button. If you want to sponsor the show, you can do that at pdognight.live. 24 hours a day. That's where the prioritized chats are with full 256 character limit, no matter how much you donate, or you can do YouTube super chats or a couple of other options in the description down below. I think it's Cash App and Venmo. All right. Let's see. Let me check these messages real quick. Oh, what did you send me, Shio? Am I going to be upset? Cats are looking better now. Okay, what did Monkey put up here? Oh, no. I'm not going to talk about that. Randy Monkey talked about that yesterday. Okay, Shio sent me the article from the New York Post. Woman hospitalized for 3 days after dog poos on her face while she's sleeping, and she took a picture of it. Like the poo, she's wiping off her face, her little rat terrier dog looking thing. I'm not putting that on the screen. That's gross, Shio. That's gross. I'll link it here. For those of you who who want to see it, I'll throw a link in the chat here. Oh my goodness. There you go. There's the link to the New York Post story. Woman hospitalized for 3 days after dog poos on her face while sleeping. Now, I don't know why she'd be hospitalized for 3 days. This is a British woman, so maybe the dog, oh no, not on her face, in her mouth. Oh no. British woman spent 3 days in the hospital after her daughter's dog defecated in her mouth as she slept. But she stopped to take a picture before she cleaned it off her face. Who would take a picture of it? That's nasty. Anyway. And then, okay, I have to. I have to, don't I? Hang on. You gotta be. I'm gonna show the picture just because you will. I guess you'll appreciate it. She took this picture. What? Wait, what the hell I do there? No. Wait, what the hell? Oh, here it is. Good God. Oh, I somehow closed the New York Post article. Okay, if I have to see it, you have to see it. This is not catching up, by the way, Shiograph. This is not catching up. This is putting pain in my heart when you do this. But I am going to sacrifice for you. And if you don't want to see this, close your eyes. I'll tell you. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. She stopped to take a picture. She probably spit it out, but still, she took a picture of the poo on her face. I'd be washing my hand. I wouldn't tell anybody about it. I wouldn't do anything. Okay, enough of this. Enough of that. There you go. That's it. And if you were looking away, all right, it's gone. It's gone. All right. Damn it, Shio. That will be it'll be in the links at the end of the show. I put all the links in a single link in the second paragraph called a one tab, and if you want to read that story, that's where it'll be. All right, let's check the old Twitter machine, see if there's anything interesting trending, and then we'll get into the ones that I've picked out. Let's see. View fans concerned about former host after Whoopi Goldberg shares a rare update. What? What former host? Oh, could it be Barbara Walters? Let's see here. View fans are concerned about reclusive Barbara Walters after Whoopi gave a rare update on the show creator. Barbara has mainly stayed out of the spotlight since retiring from the talk show in 2014. View fans concerned. I don't know. Let's see here. I wasn't even going to do trending shit, but let's see I generally like Barbara Walters. Reacción a Puerto Rico. Hey, how are things going in Puerto Rico, by the way? You were down there. What the hell is this? The U.S. Sun. Okay, I see. Anyway, well, I guess that didn't work. What did I do there? I'm having a boomer day. Sorry. You know what? I don't care. Anyway, she gave a rare update about Barbara Walters, but then this thing doesn't really tell you anything. View cans concerned, or for former host. I'm trying to read the thread, not see the article. I'm not as smart as I look. Barbara Walters not doing so well. She's only 159 years old. Yeah, she's got to be in her. How old is she now? Anyone know? Anyone know how old Barbara Walters is? Why is this not working? Good God! Here, I'll show I don't want to. I'm having trouble with my computer. It probably needs an update or something. I know that. I went to do when I opened it this morning, first of all, I didn't realize I put it on standby. I meant to shut it off, and I put it on standby. So it's been on standby for a week. And I know that a couple of my programs need updates, including this Streamlabs one. All right, I just want to read the damn thread. Good God, it's slow. All right, Whoopi got fans talking during the live show. She broke away to mention former View host Barbara Walters. Watch the clip here. I don't want to watch the clip. Whoopi gave she's 93 years old. 93 years old. Whoopi gave the 93-year-old creator and original co-host a big shout out when a sweet and smiling photo of Barbara appeared on the screen. She said to the one and only Barbara Walters, who had a birthday yesterday, "You want to say 27 never looked so good." Fans were quick to jump in on the birthday celebration for Barbara. One tweeted, "Happy 93rd birthday to Barbara Walters. Thank you for all you've done to encourage women to follow their dreams." Meanwhile, another asked how she's doing, as they never hear about her anymore. "I wish she were still able to be on The View." Another shared, instead of Sunny Hostin, that hoe. Anyway, in 1990s, okay, this is too much information, and it doesn't say anything about how Barbara's doing. So people are speculating. Okay, that's good enough. I'm not even linking that shit. I don't care. Let's get back to the Explore tab. If there's anything that's pressing. I know the hurricane down in Florida, a lot of people are beginning to evacuate the area. In fact, a couple that we were on the cruise with were from Central Florida and said that they were even as inland as Orlando. They were asking people to begin to evacuate the area. So who knows? Excuse me. Trending here. Let's see. We'll check the list. Number 1, Hurricane Ian. Ian slams Cuba as Category 3 storm, continues strengthening. Justice Department declares seized Mar-a-Lago materials list full and accurate, despite the former President Trump's claim of planted evidence. So they're already CNN's making up for whatever the Justice Department does and whatever. Good morning, Jeffrey Russell Jr., by the way. Cat 1 hurricane, the whole island should have had power by now. Oh, really? Why am I such a naughty boy, Jeffrey? I'm not sure what you're talking about. What did I do? What did I do? Here, maybe if I can. Oh, you can't do that on this Twitter. Okay, I don't care. You can't, unfortunately. seeing it, Justice Department declares seized Mar-a-Lago materials list full and accurate despite former President Trump's claim of planted evidence. Do we want to read this shit? Oh my God. Let's try it. What the hell? Here it is. This is CNN. Went to Puerto Rico with their father had a fall and is in intensive care. But they still didn't have power. I know they're running stuff on generators, you were telling me. I hope you, and I wish your father well, obviously. All right, so this is CNN, so you got to take it with a grain of salt. Justice Department submitted as part of a special master review of the Mar-a-Lago search a slightly revised inventory of the materials seized in the search, along with an FBI affidavit indicating that the new inventory fully reflects what was taken. The special master, Judge Raymond Deary, had requested that the Justice Department submit an affidavit declaring whether the inventory captured a full and accurate picture of the search. Yeah, see, now, of course, the Justice Department's not going to lie or do anything shady. The FBI is going to be fully on the up and up because they are always fully on the up and up about what was in there. I'm sure that everything is just true and accurate and perfectly fine. Here, I'll get this on the screen better for you. Let's see. The request came after former President Donald Trump claimed without evidence. Of course, you see, when it's Donald Trump, they'll say without evidence, but any Democrat says something, they won't even say without evidence. They'll just say, hey, Gun Fox, nice to see you, brother. Welcome. What am I saying? Welcome back. I'm welcoming myself back, and good to see you again. I'm not aware of any documents or materials seized from the premises that on that date by the FBI that are not reflected in the revised detailed property inventory. An FBI agent whose identity was redacted who wrote in the new affidavit. So it's funny. Interesting, though. Isn't it interesting that they had to give a revised list? Isn't that special? Anyway, Gunfox, thank you for sponsoring the show, and you are the new Stream Lab Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, Gunfox61. Dropping a 10 spot in the Streamlabs thing. Breaking news: Artemis 1 rolled back to Bay before hurricane, and in China. I don't know what "and in China." I'm not sure what that means. Yeah, is that the one? Is that the rocket they still haven't launched? Why can't I do this? There we go. Is that the rocket they still haven't launched? Why is none of this shit working today? There we go. Let's move this over here. I'll just put it up here with the other ones. We'll put that link in the... What the hell? No. I want that right. Nothing on my computer is working right today. This is not making me happy. Okay, it will not. There we go. That's what I meant to do. Oh. In China, home buyers occupy their rotting, unfinished properties. Okay. Okay, I'll put that in the links. Hopefully I'll get to that today. All right. So anyway, notice how they've had to revise the list of materials. Is that shocking to you? They didn't have a full list. Are you serious? Yes, it was a church lady reference. Of course it was. Wikipedia snippet. Very good. All right. Okay, what matters? I don't care what CNN thinks matters. It's funny, though. So they're always going to say, if Donald Trump says it, it's without evidence. If anyone else says it's just perfectly fine that the FBI had to revise their list. Oh, these fuckers. I can't believe it. Did you hear about, there was something else they got caught doing. Oh, you know that raid they did in the Beverly Hills bank, and they went through all the safety deposit boxes because there was supposedly some drug deal, and then they raided like hundreds of millions of dollars worth of stuff out of all the safety deposit boxes in this bank, and then they just found out that the FBI. Let's see. Let me put this in the way they say it, and then the way that I would say it. They said the FBI misled the judge on some of the things they needed to get the warrant to search these safety deposit boxes, which they took it was like $300 million. They took out of every safety box. They basically raided the entire bank, the Beverly Hills Bank, and took out of it all. It wasn't even the suspect's safety deposit box, but they cleared out every safety deposit box, right? well, now they're finding out the FBI, the reports in the mainstream media were, oh, they misled the judge, right? No, they lied their asses off. What are you talking about, misled? Jesus. Anyway. All right. See, 20-minute HB rant. No, I didn't. Oh God, you're baiting me, Gunfox. So let's get through some headlines here. The main one I want to talk about today is regarding the January 6th stuff. And Julie Kelly at American Greatness has been just all over this story. And she has an article in there. This is the only one that I'll probably go through completely. Cover-up artists for undercover operatives. Prosecutors say defense lawyers representing 5 Oath Keepers in their seditious conspiracy trial should be barred from asking any FBI informant about their participation in the investigation. Now, so what's happening is apparently the Oath Keepers, which people they keep calling them a domestic terrorist organization, some racist or whatever organization, when really the original Oath Keepers, which I know about because I read about them a long time ago, they're basically former police officers and military and first responder type people that go out and their main purpose, the reason they call the Oath Keepers is because they take an oath to the Constitution, when they do whatever they do, and they want to maintain that despite the fact they believe that some people in this country don't take that oath seriously because some don't give a fuck about the Constitution. Well, these guys do, and so that's what the Oath Keeper name comes from. And mostly they go out and they help out in natural disasters and things like that. But anyway, they have some political activity, but whatever. Now, sorry. So in this trial that they have, there's like a few of the Oath Keepers are on trial. They're the only ones, like 2 or 3 people, the only ones who've been charged with seditious conspiracy on the January 6th stuff, right? Now, it's interesting because you got all these people they have charged for, most of them trespassing or being in the wrong place here, then you're not supposed to be here, you're parading, you got a sign and you're picketing and whatever. So they're getting most of these misdemeanor stuff. But they keep calling it an insurrection. They keep calling it an attempted coup. They keep calling it, the worst names that can come, treason, blah, blah, blah. But only 2 of the people, of all these people that they've arrested, have been charged with seditious conspiracy. So now, it makes me wonder, how in the hell can this be an insurrection? Oh, I'm sorry. How can it be an insurrection? That was really loud. I don't know. Or a coup if only 2 people are charged with it? How? Makes no sense. But anyway, we're going to go through this article by Julie Kelly, and then we're going to just go through headlines after this. Because I'm not good at managing my time because I haven't been doing this for a while. I'm so excited to be back, by the way. I'm so excited to be back. Hot off falsely claiming Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick was bludgeoned to death by insurrectionists on January 6, 2021, Representative Bondar Jones, Democrat in New York, last week identified another faux victim of Trump supporters, Ray Epps. Oh, yeah. So for some reason, the Democrats really don't want to talk about Ray Epps. There was an exchange between Thomas Massey and the Q-tip head dude about that. But anyway, let me just get. I gotta focus here. The infamous red-headed man seen in the video numerous times urging people to go into the Capitol, remember him, remains free despite engaging in conduct far more disruptive than many who faced charges for their behavior on that day. Jones, however, describes Epps as a scapegoat and a boogeyman of his Republican colleagues. Commended Epps for turning himself into the FBI, as many protesters later charged with crimes, and claimed Epps tried to calm the crowd as the chaos unfolded. Remember, Ray Epps, you got to go into the Capitol. You got to go in. And then he whispered to the guy just before they went and breached those gates. Remember him? All right, now, there's nothing unusual about a guy who didn't actually go into the Capitol on January 6th and who did not actually incite violence to not be indicted, Jones said during last week's House Judiciary Committee meeting in a debate a bill demanding that the Department of Justice turn over all records related to Epps. Quote, Mr. Epps and his wife have had their lives threatened, and they've had to go into hiding because of this latest conspiracy theory by MAGA Republicans. By the way, you're going to be hearing the word MAGA Republicans so much over the next couple months, just before till the election. It's like barely a month away, isn't it? It's almost October. Anyway, you're going to hear that MAGA Republicans over and over and over. And I don't think it's going to work. Democrats is trying. I'm your boogeyman, is what I am. Anyway, there's nothing. Okay, so what else do you say here? Mr. Epps and his wife had their lives threatened. They've had to go into hiding because of this latest conspiracy theory by MAGA Republicans to distract from the existential threat that Donald Trump, the Republican Party, posed to our democracy. Fuckers. You mean Democrats in power. Anyway, Jones was the latest member of Congress to come to Epps' rescue and inexplicable defense of someone who took part in what the Biden regime considers an act of terror comparable to the terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001 that left nearly 3,000 people dead. Despite promises by the January 6th Select Committee that Epps' sworn interview would be released to the public, his testimony remains under wraps nearly 9 months later. Oh, Q-tip. Representative Jamie Raskin. You know who that I'm talking about? Or Brillo Head, whatever. Representative Jamie Raskin, a member of the committee, called unanswered questions about Epps a conspiracy theory. And begged Republicans to leave Epps alone. Leave Epps alone. He didn't do anything. Leave Epps alone. Anyway, he's just trying to survive. And he's on your side, Raskin yelled during the same House Judiciary Committee meeting, claiming without evidence, they're throwing it back at him, claiming without evidence that Republicans don't have many voters left. Raskin suggested Republicans should stop vilifying Epps, an alleged Trump supporter. Let me see, do they have the clip here? Let's check this out. I know here, they put a link to it. Let's see how this goes. Is my computer. I gotta fix this computer. Just when I thought he couldn't top the last one, Raskin goes right at Massey and his dumbass Ray Epps conspiracy. Listen to this shit. Okay, you gotta listen to this. This is funny. I don't know if this is the full clip.
Mr. Epps was in front of the January 6th committee, and we were told that a transcript of his interview would be released, but it's never been released. And I wondered, was he sworn
None of the transcripts have been released, so you don't need a conspiracy theory.
How? Why is he so defensive about Ray Epps? There's video of him saying you got to go into the Capitol. He's acting like the leader of this.
About that, we haven't released any of
Were
them.
you present when he was interviewed? That would give me.
No, I was not.
Now, wait. There's something Jamie Raskin does during this where, he talks about Ray Epps and he says, yes, he did get interviewed. Was I present during the interview? I wasn't present during the interview. There's something he says during this exchange that's really strange. And I'll tell you when I get there.
I was not. We've done more than 1,000 interviews. You guys are trying to make this poor schmuck who showed up to your protest into something a lot bigger than he is. Okay?
This poor schmuck who just showed up to the protest. Oh, this poor schmuck. He just happened to be in the wrong place. You know how many people they've arrested that did not go into the Capitol, into the building itself? They were just on the ground. They've arrested several people who were just out there. But this poor schmuck who is seen on camera, you must go into the Capitol. You must go into the Capitol. This poor schmuck.
He's just trying to survive, and he's on your side. You don't have many voters left. You might want to try to hang on to them without demonizing and vilifying.
I'm glad I found this. I'm going to use this. I'm going to make a video. This poor schmuck.
Your own people. That's the
You
Donald.
don't, and also I love this line. It says, "You don't have many voters left." I'm saving this clip. I'm saving this clip for when, if we believe the midterm elections are going to go the way they are, this will be a great clip. You don't have many voters left.
Voters left. You might want to try to hang on to them without demonizing
Hello, Jordan.
and vilifying
Hello, why are you
your
so
own
angry?
people. That's the Donald Trump way. Sell everybody else down the road. Unless you're going to get a pardon. Some people are still hanging around waiting for their pardon. But most people have opened their eyes about what he's done to our country. What he's done to his family. Have you guys ever read the book by Mary Trump about the way that Donald
Mary
Trump
Trump?
has
What the hell are
absolutely
you talking
destroyed their
about?
family?
What's this question about?
Wrecked her father's life?
He doesn't want to talk about Ray Epps.
They do it to family. They do it to friends. They do
Ray
it to their
Epps is
own
the question,
associates and
Jamie.
employees.
Ray
And now
Epps.
you guys
Ray
are doing it to
Epps.
this poor Ray Epps. Leave that guy alone.
Leave Ray Epps alone. Leave Ray Epps alone. He didn't do anything. Oh God. What this poor
Whoever he is.
Whoever he is. That's now. What do you mean whoever he is? Whoever he is. Jamie Raskin is on the committee that interviewed Ray Epps. What was the first question? What was the first question that Thomas Massey asked?
Mr. Epps was in front of the January 6th committee, and we were told that a transcript of his interview would be released, but it's never been released. And I wondered, was he sworn
None
in?
of the transcripts.
Do you know who is on the January 6th committee that he's admitting that they interviewed him? That would be this guy, Jamie Raskin. He was in front of the committee. And what does he say at the end here?
Whoever he is.
Whoever he is. Whoever he is. Oh, these dirty pricks. Anyway, let's get back to this. What the hell's going on there? Goodness gracious. Anyway, so everyone else is an insurrectionist and terrorist, but Ray Epps is just a schmuck. Weird, yes. In fact, Ray Epps is one of the main instigators caught on film who somehow still manages to evade brutal FBI raids and bogus charges just as the Justice Department closes in on 1,000 total. January 6th, they have 1,000 defendants. Many of them in jail without charges yet. Still, what's the date today? September 27, 2022. I never said at the beginning of the show. Welcome to Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. It is the September 27, 2022. Still in jail a year later. Like, this is, okay, that's from, because a lot have been in jail for over a year. Some at most in solitary confinement. Over trespassing charges. And Ray Epps, Mr. You've got to go into the Capitol. No. How so? So anyway, 1,000 total January 6th defendants with new arrests announced each week. But not Ray Epps. How? And prosecutors are attempting to conceal information about other individuals tied to the events of that day. Now, get this. I need a sip. FBI informants embedded in the Oath Keepers, the so-called militia group accused of attempting to overthrow the government on January 6th. How? With no weapons, just walking in and protesting? How would they overthrow the government by doing that without any weapons? Interesting. In a last-minute motion filed by prosecutors last week, 6 days shy of the start of the Oath Keepers' first trial, listen to this. The Justice Department asked D.C. District Court Judge Amit Mehta for a protective order to prevent defense attorneys from asking questions about the role of several confidential human sources, i.e. informants, who are either involved in the investigation that led to the prosecution of the defendants or who became CHSs subsequent to the initiation of the instant investigation. James Colley, you just subscribed? Well, it's about damn time. How you doing, brother? Nice to see you. Thank you for subscribing. This suggests the FBI ran informants into the group prior to January 6th. So they have embedded informants in the Oath Keepers. Is anybody shocked? Is anybody shocked? What is this button? I forgot I put that on there. There's a Dom DeMarco button. I also have this one. Beta! I have some new ones. Anyway, I've tried to come up with some new sound effects. Anyway, prosecutors say the defense attorneys representing 5 Oath Keepers charged with seditious conspiracy and other offenses should be prohibited from asking any FBI informant for personal identifying information or about their participation in past or pending investigations. Cross-examination of any FBI informant called as a government witness should exclude seeking details about his cooperation with other undercover operations managed by the Bureau, they argue. Oh, you mean like if they were part of that thing with Gretchen Whitler? Yes, I still call her Whitler. Hello, Aaron Meredith. Did I already say that already? I don't know. This is the first time the Justice Department has acknowledged the use of FBI informants in the Oath Keepers investigation, which now tracks a similar pattern uncovered in the FBI hatched plot to kidnap and assassinate Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitler. I just said that. Dozens of FBI supervising agents, informants, and other covered agents operating out of multiple FBI field offices engineered the hoax in an attempt to demonstrate the non-existent danger posed by malicious groups loyal to Donald Trump. The ruse even involved the storming of the Michigan Capitol building in April 2020. 6 men were arrested in October 2020 for conspiring to kidnap Whitler. But court filings, later detailed an elaborate FBI entrapment scheme. A Grand Rapids jury in April acquitted 2 men after defense counsel successfully argued their clients were set up by the FBI, even though the judge withheld from jurors a trove of evidence related to FBI assets animating involvement. The jury could not reach a verdict on the other 2 defendants. 2 men pleaded guilty and cooperated with the government. In August, a separate jury found the remaining defendants guilty in a retrial thanks to an activist judge heavily tipping the scales in favor of the government. I hope they appeal that shit out of that one, which is probably not going to work either way. That outcome, however, does not change the machinations behind the Whitler Fed-napping scheme. The Oath Keepers case could unravel in much the same way. Are prosecutors attempting to conceal information, an informant's work in the Whitler scandal by seeking to stop defense attorneys from asking about past investigations? That was my theory. Why all the subterfuge? But background information about FBI informants isn't the only unknown in the Oath Keepers case. As reported last week, the creator of an encrypted group chat, another tactic deployed by FBI assets in the Whitler Fed-napping to create incriminating evidence that remains unidentified. Although the anonymous chat leader repeatedly encouraged participants to engage in violent conduct on January 6th, sounds like Ray Epps. Including killing police and lawmakers in self-defense if necessary. He does not face charges, but clips of the conversation will be introduced as government evidence. Unbelievable. Defense attorneys previously informed the court that at least 20 FBI and ATF assets were embedded around the Capitol on January 6 without explanation. Discovery evidence also showed the Oath Keepers were being monitored or recorded prior to January 6th, defense lawyers wrote in an April 2022 motion. And as more whistleblowers emerged from the Bureau, at least one recently disclosed that counterterrorism probes targeting white supremacists, quote unquote, and quote unquote domestic violent extremists are almost always entrapment operations run by the Fed. So an FBI whistleblower is giving up some of the ruse. which could be one reason why congressional Democrats are so touchy about Ray Epps and why they, along with the Justice Department, refuse to disclose what they know about him. Is it because there's really an innocent explanation as to why he's uncharged, or is it that they know that he is the tip of the iceberg? Now, my prediction, should the Republicans take over the majority in the Congress, the House of Representatives, I got a feeling, ooh, that there will be another January 6th committee convened to find out about the Fed's involvement and Mr. Ray Epps. So, Mr. Ray Epps, if you're watching today, I would suggest you get your shit together, because you're going to be answering more questions from a committee that won't be all people who are on your side and won't be saying, leave Ray Epps alone. Leave him alone. Leave Ray Epps alone. It ain't happening, Ray. Yeah. Anyway. Hello, Data Wasteland. Hello, Renee Mayette. Hello, James Colley again. And James Colley, thank you for the $1.49 and the birthday cake. Even though it's not my birthday, I appreciate it. I see it there in the chat. There'll probably be a little music interlude here in a moment. But anyway, all right. So, what the fuck was that? That was, never mind. Anyway, prosecutors and House Democrats portray themselves as purveyor of the facts, when in reality they act as cover-up artist for the undercover operatives. Let's hope the Oath Keepers trial, as it did in the trial of the Whitmer Fednapping victims, gets the public closer to the actual truth about January 6th. So I'm looking forward to that myself, I gotta tell you. Because this shit's nuts, man. I can't believe it. Hello, Jay Pylon. What's up, brother? Nice to see ya. I couldn't remember what the Dom button was, so that was my J Pylon button. I should just change to my J Pylon button, the Dom DeMarco button. All right, now let's just go through some headlines and stuff, because I don't want to excuse me. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this. Oh yeah, speaking. Oh, if you're not sure who Ray Epps is, here's a highlight film of Mr. Ray Epps, just in case you're. Hang on. Let's pause here. Here we go. Here's the highlight film of Mr. Ray Epps.
Tomorrow, we need to go into the Capitol. Into the Capitol. What? No! Peacefully. Fed.
Yes, this is Ray Epps' greatest hits.
I don't even like to say it because I'll be arrested.
Well, let's not say it.
We need to go. I'll say it.
All right.
We need to go in.
Shut the fuck up, Boomer.
To the Capitol.
Base Fed posting? All right. We need to go into the Capitol. I didn't see that coming. Okay.
And then here he is.
We are going to the Capitol, where our problems are. It's that direction.
Yes, this is the guy who this poor schmuck.
But one more thing.
Yeah, so can we go up there? No?
When we go in,
Are we going to get arrested if we go up there?
You don't need to get
You
shot.
arrest us all?
2 seconds. Oh, whispered his ear and whispered sweet nothings into his ear. Now, here we go. It's time to break in. There it is. Okay. He looks like he's the supervisor, doesn't he? I know that's kind of loud, isn't it? And he's okay. So, how is it that of all these other people around him get arrested, but not him? I don't get it. Anybody? Anybody have a clue as to why that might be? I sure don't. Anyway, that clip is also in that list of clips here.
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay, yeah, shut up. Shut up, Ray. Damn it. All right, let's go through some headlines and just get caught up in stuff, because I only got 20 minutes left. We're gonna keep it quick here. We're gonna not gonna go deep into these topics, but I need to catch up. So I thought, let's look at some headlines. All right. In the Breitbart news site, FBI raided Catholic activist Mark Houck even after he agreed to surrender peacefully. So apparently, this dude, Mark Houck, was they were at, I think it was an abortion protest or some shit. Mark Hope, founder and president of the King's Men, a group dedicated to helping men become better husbands, fathers, and leaders, was arrested in his rural Pennsylvania home last Friday after allegedly violating a Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act during his regular sidewalk counseling outside an abortion clinic in 2021. Speaking with LifeSite News, Hoke's wife, Ryan Marie, said at around 25 to 30 fully armored FBI agents stormed their property early Friday morning, aiming their rifles as the children screamed horror. So this is a guy. Now, so what happened? He was outside and he tries to counsel people and whatever. And some guy got in his face or something, right? Some guy got in his face. And let's see. Let me see if I can find this. Because assault is always a serious offense, and under FACE Act, if a victim is targeted because of their association with a reproductive health care clinic, it is a federal crime. Our office and the Department of Justice are committed to prosecuting crimes which threaten the safety and rights of all individuals. Some guy got in his face, right, while he's at this, because he's protesting that, and he has the right to do that. Some guy gets in his face, and he pushed him away. And that was it. That was a scuffle, right? They sent 25 armed FBI agents to go arrest him. It's nuts. I think I have more on this, do I? If you want to get more depth in it, FBI raids pro-lifer's home, arrest him in front of his kids after ignoring pro-abortion terrorism. I have 3 articles on this. When the father said, okay. And then and this is a guy who they said they wanted to bring him in on this charge. He agreed to turn himself in. They sent 25 FBI agents to raid his home. When the father of 7 answered the door, pleading with the agents to remember my children at home, Ryan Marie said that G-men just kept pounding and screaming. Once Mark allowed them inside, they had huge rifles pointed at Mark, pointed at me, and kind of pointed throughout the house. His wife recalled their children she had were at the top of the stairs, which faces the front door, just screaming. After Ryan Marie protested, she said the agent finally agreed to retrieve the warrant, then showed her one page and said they were taking him to a federal building in downtown Philadelphia. Mark asked her to get his rosaries and sweatshirt, she added, but when she returned, they already loaded him into the vehicle. The arrest warrant shows Hoke was accused of attacking a patient escort at a Planned Parenthood facility in violation of the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act, a federal law used to restrict the actions of pro-life protesters and counselors in front of abortion facilities. Mark, who also runs a men's ministry devoted to in part rescuing men from pornography addictions, made a habit of driving 2 hours to Philadelphia every week to spend his Wednesdays speaking and counseling in front of the Planned Parenthood Elizabeth Blackwell Center. On several occasions, when Mark took their 12-year-old son to the sidewalk to counsel with him, a pro-abortion protester would say crude and inappropriate, disgusting things to Mark's son, including, "Your dad's a fag," and other vulgarities Ryan Marie couldn't bring herself to repeat. It went on for weeks and weeks. Despite Mark repeatedly telling the man to stop harassing his son, he kept doing it and kind of came into the son's personal space, Ryan Marie explained, at which point Mark shoved him away from his child and the guy fell back. He didn't have any injuries or anything, but he tried to sue Mark. The case against Mark was thrown out of the District Court of Philadelphia earlier this year, but the FBI picked it up as the federal agency continues to wage war on the administration's political opponents. So that's what happened. And so they sent 25 FBI agents with AR-15s to his house and arrested him. How about that? Oh, my goodness. So Senator Josh Hawley is a little pissed off at Merrick Garland for this one. So there was a little exchange between him and let's see if they have the video here. Josh Hawley sent a harshly worded letter to the Justice Department. Here's Hawley's letter. If my computer will bring it up, damn it. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Here's Josh Hawley's letter to Merrick Garland. Let's go full screen on this real quick. Hopefully they'll come on. There we go. Dear Attorney General Garland, after the shocker reports about the FBI arresting a man Friday in rural Pennsylvania are true, then you have a lot to answer for. These reports state that federal authorities obtained a warrant under the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act to arrest Mark Houck for allegedly committing a single count of simple assault by pushing a man near an abortion clinic. Houck contends that he only did it to defend his child against the man, and local authorities have already dismissed several criminal complaints against Houck for the same conduct. Not only did your office turn a local dispute into a national case, but the FBI repeatedly executed a search warrant in an extreme manner, as one can imagine. Reports state the FBI sent as many as 20 to 25 agents to conduct the arrest, and the FBI allegedly arrested Houck at gunpoint early in the morning in front of his 7 children. The FBI admitted in a statement that as many as 20 agents were present with their guns drawn. Why? Was this man armed? Was this man dangerous? What the hell are they doing? Hello, Fight Far Right. Nice to see you. Ed Houck's wife said that when they saw 20 or more agents arrest their father at gunpoint, the kids were all just screaming, to say the least. Using this kind of force to make an arrest for a single charge of simple assault is unprecedented. The reports are especially shocking given that your office has so far turned a blind eye to the epidemic of violence across the country by pro-abortion extremists against pregnancy resource centers, houses of worship, and pro-life Americans, violent acts that are prohibited by the very same law under which you are charging Mark Houck. One group reports 104 incidents of extremist violence against pregnancy resource centers, churches, and pro-life Americans since the leak of the Supreme Court draft opinion on May 3rd. Those attacks include firebombing and arsons. Just last week, an 83-year-old woman was shot while engaging in pro-life activism. Despite my repeated requests, you still have not identified a single prosecution the Department of Justice has taken in response to this epidemic of violence against pro-life Americans. As all of this comes after more than a year of your office repeatedly weaponizing the FBI and other arms of the federal government against your political opponents. If you are trying to inspire confidence in your department, you are failing magnificently. Page 2, click, come on. There we go. I believe you must testify under oath before the Senate Judiciary Committee about your selective use and apparent political weaponizing of the FACE Act. In addition, within 10 days, please provide answers to the following questions. Why were 20 to 25 armed FBI agents sent to Mark Houck's home to execute an arrest warrant for an alleged simple assault? 2, why did those agents have their guns drawn? Was this a dangerous man that they thought? I don't know. And number 3, since May 3rd, 2022, how many charges has your department brought against pro-abortion extremists who have attacked pregnancy resource centers, churches, and pro-life Americans? Sincerely, James Hawley. So good for him. They need to answer some questions. All right, other things happening. Biden advisor says MAGA Republicans will disrupt our democracy. What is, oh, by the way, chat, when they say democracy, what do they really mean? Democrats in power. So apparently President Biden was the first to slam MAGA Republicans as extremists, and members of his administration are following suit. On Sunday, Keisha Lance Bottoms, one of Biden's senior advisors, has asked if members of the Biden administration will keep hammering away at that phrase, and this deserves an echo, MAGA Republicans. Here's her answer.
Well, I think it will be important for people across the country to give consideration to what matters to them. If you care about climate change, if you care about the Affordable Care Act, if you care about women having the right to choose as to what happens to their bodies, if you care about doctors and nurses not being put in jail for providing assistance to women who may be experiencing miscarriages, then
How about them being fired for not taking a vaccine?
I think that people have to give ample consideration as to who represents and who has put policy in place to support those values. And what I would say is this election is a very important election, not just for Democrats, but also for Republicans.
Lance Bottoms. How is that not a gay porn star? Yes, but it's what's her name? Alicia Lance. That's her hyphenated last name, I think.
also for independence, and anyone who cares about the United States of America. There is
anybody who cares about the United States of America. That's pretty broad. Doesn't that include MAGA Republicans? I don't know, maybe.
MAGA Republican agenda that gives no consideration to the rule of law, that has no respect for a woman's right to choose, that wants to defund the FBI.
The Supreme Court disagrees.
There is a MAGA Republican agenda that thought that it...
Oh, the FBI. The FBI. Yeah. They need to, well, there's, oh my gosh, we'll talk about the FBI tomorrow.
It was okay to attack our nation's capital.
Okay, no one said that. I'm not listening to you anymore. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. Anyway, but yeah, they're going to be pounding away at that MAGA Republic things. Okay, in California, did you hear about their plan to outlaw natural gas for heating? Oh my God. Now, granted, I know that parts of California probably don't use a lot of natural gas for heating, but they're going to try to phase out the use of natural gas for heating. Now, remember, people use natural gas for cooking too. So what are they going to do? Are they going to go to propane? What are they going to do? If the residents of California, the Golden State, didn't have enough to make them miserable with wildfires, mudslides, mounting crime, high prices, energy shortages, and homeless people leaving various substances on city streets, now the California Air Resources Board, or CARB, good grief, even the acronyms are ridiculous, is gearing up to rid the state of natural gas heaters and furnaces. They want to outlaw natural gas heaters and furnaces by 2030. According to Hill last week, the board passed a proposal that will lay the groundwork to phase out space heaters and water appliances by 2030. So they're going to make you have electric water heaters too. You know how much, oh my God, electric hot water heaters are so inefficient compared to gas. And also, isn't this the state of rolling blackouts? Okay, Californians, if you're from California, after 2030, if you still have water, it's going to be cold. You're going to have no hot water. I'm just saying. You're going to have to boil on your electric stove with your electric water heater if you have any water. They're so stupid. That would never fly in the Midwest. Moving on. In Norway, the turbines the big giant windmill turbines, well, turbines in one part of Norway are falling apart because of the wind. The wind is destroying the turbines. As Wile E. Coyote used to say, well, back to the old drawing board. Norway is awash with oil and gas, but the Norwegian government prefers renewables, including wind power. However, for turbines to work, two things need to happen. One, the wind needs to blow, and two, the turbines need to work. And the Anstadblasia wind farm near Scotland, Norway. These two factors have combined to create a unique headache for the environmentally minded and mentally challenged. The wind is blowing, so there's a problem. There, the problem solved, but the farm's turbines cannot handle it. Since 2020, at least 7 parts of the turbines have fallen off during high winds. Life in Norway reports that the Norwegian Water Resources Directive has given the farm until October 10th to fix the problem or shutter operation. They have too much wind in their wind farm that it's destroying the turbines because they're probably moving a little faster than they expect them to be. And so if you are, let's just put it this way. If Norway just takes all the natural gas that Californians will not be using, you'll be able to heat your home in Norway. So there you go. Moving on. Other headlines. Let's see. What's this one? Oh yeah, this is the. So apparently, in the Inflation Reduction Act, you know how those bills that you never really get to time to read the whole damn bill. Well, apparently in the Inflation Reduction Act, Democrats stuffed billions in reparations for black farmers. Just black farmers, though. Not all farmers. But I know they had the thing in the South where they were trying to give some money to the black farmers or whatever. Democrats' massive climate spending and tax bill gave the Department of Agriculture $2.2 billion with a B in loans to pay farmers, many of whom are black, who have previously been denied USDA loans due to discrimination. Wait a minute. If many of whom are black are getting it, then who? But they were all denied due to discrimination. What were the others being discriminated for? I'm just curious. The provision, which was backed by Democrat Senators Cory Booker of New Jersey and Raphael Warnock of Georgia, is intended to provide financial assistance to farmers, ranchers, and forest land owners. The department determines to have experienced discrimination in USDA farm lending programs before January 1st, 2021. Before 2020. So this farmer dispute's been going on for about 10 years now. There have been parts of the government that have been trying to give them money, and I don't remember why, because they said the USDA was discriminating against them in farm loans. So now they're just going to give them money, I guess. Although the funding could go to any farmer that the government has discriminated against, such as white women or members of the LGBTQ community. Yes, there's a whole bunch of LGBTQ farmers. I'm sure there's probably some lesbians who farm. You know that ain't no gay people getting their hands dirty. Anyway, the money is primarily intended to rectify the historic denial of loans to black farmers, according to the Wall Street Journal. So that's what they did, and why is that shit on my screen? Anyway, so they got reparations for black farmers in the Inflation Reduction Act. Yes, that will do wonders to reduce inflation. Moving on. In a shift away from China, Apple's going to move some of their iPhone production to India. Is that good news? I guess that's good news, right? Is that good? Why is my center one so off? I'll just leave it. Anyway, they're going to move some of because Apple said Monday it will manufacture its latest iPhone 14 in India as the tech giant moves some of its production away from China. I think that's a great idea.
Stop. Hammer time.
Whoops, wrong button. There we go. Good. Maybe it'll be less slave labor and just really low-wage child labor instead. Anyway. Also, apparently MSNBC and CNN ignore sexual assault allegations against a Democratic Senate candidate. Mike Franken, is he related to Al Franken? I don't think he is accused of having 1950s interactions with several women. So he's been hand-to-ass, motions, I guess. A Democratic Senate candidate who has raised millions in his bid to unseat Senator Chuck Grassley in Iowa was accused last week of sexually assaulting his former campaign manager. Oh, you know they're not talking about that one. MSNBC, CNN, and other national media have yet to give the story any attention. Mike Franken has raised more than $4.6 million and won support of prominent Democrats, such as Senator Mark Kelly and Tim Kaine, in his Senate run. That effort was derailed on September 19th when he was accused of forcibly kissing his former campaign manager, Kim Stroop-Bogus, according to a police report she filed in April. But you might have missed it if you get your news from MSNBC or CNN, which haven't dedicated a single second of coverage to the alleged sexual misconduct. Well, that's because it didn't happen. If it's not on MSNBC or CNN, it didn't happen. Yeah, he's going to lose. All right, moving on. In the New York Post, there was an article, progressives only care about crime after they are robbed or about to lose an election. Now, is that really news, people? Is that really news? Progressives only care about crime after they're robbed or about to lose an election. Because they're all starting to talk about crime now. Now, why do they have Bill Walton? Oh, former Boston Celtics player Bill Walton shared his experience where he felt his life was at risk while biking. Okay. The streets of American cities aren't even safe for one of the greatest big men in NBA history. Hall of Fame center Bill Walton, 6'11", and the proud pot-smoking bon vivant who has openly supported Black Lives Matter and a host of other progressive causes, has suddenly turned tough on crime. Why? For the same reason so many Americans have because he was a victim of it. In a fiery letter to San Diego Mayor Tom Gloria, Walton wrote, "Once again, while peacefully riding my bike early this Sunday afternoon in Balboa Park, I was threatened chased and assaulted by the homeless population in our park. Once again, you've done and continue to do nothing. Oh, wait a minute. Bill Walton's pissed off because some homeless people were chasing him on his bike? Also, in Los Angeles, mayoral hopeful Karen Bass, who once had never seen a police department she didn't want to defund, is now worried about her own safety. Bass said in a debate months ago that she does feel safe in L.A., but after her home was robbed and 2 guns, which she had Wait a minute. Karen Bass has guns? She's a Californian. I didn't think Californians were allowed to have guns. But her 2 guns that she had for her protection were stolen. The would-be mayor says, I did feel safe until my safety was shattered like so many Los Angelinos. I guess it's good she finally noticed. Also, who else here? U.S. Representative Mary Gay Scanlon and State Senator Kimberly Lightford, respectively, were both champions of relaxed policing, and sadly, they reaped what they have sown. Apparently, they got robbed too. Oh, they were both carjacked. Oh my gosh! So it's funny, yeah. There's a whole list of people who are suddenly worried about crime because they were victims of crime, and so now they how can one violently ride a bike? That's a good question, Avocado Stiabli. Has anybody ever violently ridden a bike? I suppose those guys, when they're kind of doing the sprint and they kind of whip the bike sideways as they're pedaling really fast. I suppose if you were right next to them, you could take your seat of your bike and bump the next guy. That's kind of violent, but yeah, I don't know how you violently ride a bike. Anyway, yes, when they are victims of crime, they suddenly care about crime again. Criminal charges could be filed against Alec Baldwin, according to a report. The report detailed several recent moves made by District Attorney Mary Carmack Altovis that indicate she could be planning to prosecute the actor in connection with the fatal shooting of cinematographer Halnya Hutchins on the set of film Rust. Yeah, you would think even negligent homicide. Someone hands you a gun, you check the chambers to make sure there's no bullets in it. I don't care if it's a gun on a set of a movie. You gotta check and don't start pointing it and just clicking, just to be cool. Yeah, the cool kid. You didn't click this gun. Oh shit! I just killed a woman. Okay, good. This is another one. So a school has conceded to a trans teacher. Come on, work. There we go. Is going to enforce preferred pronouns and restroom policies. Oh, the story has been updated to include a statement from Prince George County Schools. Anyway, a Maryland school district settled with a transgender teacher days ahead of the trial, agreeing to enforce policies including transgender students' preferred pronouns and restrooms. According to the Washington Post, Prince George County Public Schools in Prince George County, Maryland, settled with Jennifer Eller, who sued the school in 2018, saying that she was subjected to harassment after changing gender identity. According to the Washington Post, under the settlement, Ella received financial compensation, and the school agreed to enforce transgender policy, which required educators to hide students' transgender status from parents. Whose children are they? And use preferred pronouns. The transgender policy, which allows students to use locker rooms and restrooms based on their gender identity. Here's something that's interesting. Who exactly determines their gender identity? Oh, they get to determine it. Really? Okay. On overnight trips, students were permitted to room in whichever gender they best identify with, the policy stated. So anyway, so she sued the schools, or she sued the schools. And now Prince George County is going to enforce preferred pronouns and restroom policy. Excuse me, enforce preferred pronouns. So you are saying that in the United States of America, you are allowed to compel someone to what they say. That's very interesting. Very interesting. I see a lawsuit coming. Moving on. I'm going to make this quick because I'm out of time. Maine Governor Janet Mills will not remove a taxpayer-funded video calling MAGA a form of covert racism and white supremacy. Democratic Mayor of Maine, Janet Mills, refused to move a taxpayer-funded video that dubbed the campaign phrase MAGA a form of covert racism from the state Education Department resources, according to a report. Do they have a clip of this? Yeah, right here. On this clip, here's some examples. Here's covert examples of racism and white supremacy on the Department of Education's website. Thank you, Damon Gershwin, with a deuce. And that is Damon. Isn't that the CEO of? That's the CEO. The CEO. Thank you for the deuce plus 23. The small bullet, who says, "Glad you're back, P-Dog. Have you seen Brandon Caserta on Twitter? He's one of the guys involved in the Whitmer kidnapping plot. He has a small following and is looking to share his story. I bet you could get an interview with him." I would love that. I would absolutely check out his vid with Radix Verum. I definitely would like to see that. Thank you for sponsoring the show, sir. Appreciate it. All right, cool. Yes, I'd love to see it. Hey, Trip, what's up? Nice to see you. All right, so anyway, yeah, here's some of the things. Covert racism, white supremacy. These are examples. Calling the police on black people. What if the black people are committing a crime? Okay, so let's say a brother knifes another brother in the street, in the middle of the street. Is calling the police covert racism and white supremacy if you see a brother stabbing another brother to death and you call the police? Is that racist? Oh my God. White silence. If white people want to shut the fuck up, what's your business? Color blindness. I can't help it if I can't see greens and blues very differently. And self-segregating neighborhoods and schools. Oh, for fuck's sake. Hello, Chauncey Stewart. What's up? Eurocentric curriculum, white savior complex. White savior, yeah, that's you. Anyone who's writing this list is white savior complex. You are, that's covert racism. Oh my God, spiritual bypassing, whatever the hell that means. Educational funding from property taxes. Discriminatory lending. Yeah, people with bad credit don't get as many loans. Mass incarceration. Really? Of anybody? How's that? Okay. A respectability politics, tone policing, racist mascots, not believing the experience of BIPOC, paternalism, MAGA, victim blaming. Okay, they got to hold it. You can read the list. It's in the article. It's just more virtue signaling is bullshit. Anyway, in the Federalist, Wisconsin Senator documents big tech ranking of the 2022 elections against Republicans. Yeah, he's got just all kinds of things that big tech doing. That's Ron Johnson doing that. You can check that out. Excuse me. National security nightmare. GOP representative says Hunter Biden had an Eric Swalwell situation. Uh-oh. Representative James Cormier of Kentucky called new revelations about Hunter Biden a national security nightmare during a Monday evening Fox News appearance. Have you ever wanted to see a spy movie? You don't even have to go to the theaters. Go to Washington, D.C., where Chinese spies just bait and hook gullible people in power. Sometimes all it takes is a honey trap. We saw it with Eric Swalwell, who got caught sleeping with Fang Fang, and the spy who stole his heart. Let's see. Swalwell is the only person to have a Fang Fang in D.C. Turns out Hunter Biden may have dabbled with a Chinese spy, too. Her name is Jackie Bao. Oh, good Lord. You're going to have to read this one. He had his own little Fang Fang situation. Nothing sounds good here. Okay. You know, 100 was dealing in China and 10% went to the big guy. I wonder how much that was Chinese money. The article's on it'll be in the list. New Mexico congressional hopeful uses a fake name to trash cops, then deletes the evidence. Oh, this guy. Yeah, he pretended he used another name and he was getting interviewed. During a June 2020 Black Lives Matter protest in Las Cruces, New Mexico, a local reporter interviewed one attendee who furiously expressed his desire to defund police. We need serious police reform in this country, the man said. Over chance of no justice, no peace. It's not just about defunding police. It's about defunding a system that privileges white people over everyone else. While the interviewee, who shielded much of his face in a hat, neck gaiter, and sunglasses, identified himself as James Hall, a Las Cruces resident. Using the facial features he did show bore a curious resemblance to then city council member Gabe Vasquez, who is running for Congress. So apparently they may be the same guy. Who knows? We'll find out eventually. Let's see what else. This Montana Democrat invests in companies she blames for the housing crisis. Monica Tranel owns up to $50,000 in Airbnb. Oh yeah, so she I think is she a state senator? No, she's running for Congress. So she slammed Airbnb and other vacation rental service for depleting the supply of long-term rentals and homes for sale. But her financial disclosures show that Tranel owns up to $50,000 in stock in Airbnb. So this is just the hypocritical Democrat section of the show. That's Monica Tranel. She blames them for the housing crisis, but still owns stock in Airbnb. How special? Isn't that special? There's another church lady reference. Oh gosh, I got to get out of here. Nancy Pelosi booed at a major music festival. Did y'all see this? Apparently they brought her out at some music festival and they booed her. Here it is. I'm not even going to make this big.
I couldn't talk.
Yeah, nobody wants to see your old dusty ass.
Why is everybody booing?
That's hilarious. Oh man, from many angles. You know what? Here's the thing. I go to a rock concert, or music fest, or whatever. Do you want to hear some politician get up there and speak? Why is she at a that's what I'm saying, avocados. Why is she at a musical festival in the first place? And even now this is Occupy Democrats. Basically, that's their total left-wing Twitter feed. Representative Nancy Pelosi received an audible smattering of boos when making a surprise speaking appearance at New York City's Global Citizen Festival over the weekend. The House Speaker was present at the festival to discuss the Democrats' recent legislative actions on climate change. And they said, "Get the fuck off the stage, bitch." All right, moving on. Breitbart, Maloney smash. Oh, this. Okay, we're gonna get into this. I heard a lot about this when I was over in Europe, but. This Maloney, what's her name? Georgia Maloney has overtaken the left-wing Democratic Party in traditional leftist regions, smashing through the historic red wall of the Italian election landscape. So they're already calling her a fascist and whatnot, but she's not. She's just on the right, and she's said some. We'll get into it later, but her speech was very interesting. But there's an article in Illegal Insurrection. The media was calling her the first avowed fascist since Mussolini. Leftists and media in denial in the right-wing alliance that could win in Italy. Yeah, CBS News said Giorgia Meloni, the woman expected to win, leads a neo-fascist movement reminiscent of Mussolini's own political party. They're going on. They love that word fascist, by the way. I mentioned this over the weekend because someone was talking about who was it? Who was it? They were talking. They were saying, "Oh yeah, he's a fascist." Oh, well here, let me see if I can find it. Just a second here. There's a lot of articles. I'm not going to get to any of them. So let me go back to my main here. Let me go to my. Who was it I was talking about the other day? Notifications. Because they kept calling someone. They called someone fascist. I'm like, they don't have a real answer for it. They always jump to fascist, another term that has only one meaning: opinions that conflict with mine. Let me find this real quick. Oh, so Billboard Chris, the guy who I want to have on my show, he's a guy who goes around with billboards at different places. He's been doing this for a couple of years now. And he just talked to people. He's wearing a sign, children cannot consent to puberty blockers. He wears these billboards. And he walks around different places and acts. And then just talks to people. Some places people chase him around and shit. So he went to, I think it was Harvard University. And he was doing this at Harvard University. And the students put up this sign, warning, a fascist is on your campus. Warning, Brown student. Oh, no, is that Brown? Excuse me. A fascist is on your campus. Chris Elston is a fascist, anti-trans fearmonger who wants to spread misinformation and eradicate medical care for your trans youth. He will be on Brown campus on September 19th. Do not interact with him. He wants to film you arguing with him. Do not accept flyers. Do not stop to listen to him. His rhetoric leads to violence against trans children. Now, I haven't really heard about any violence against trans children's country. The only violence I've heard is certain children's hospitals who are cutting off body parts on some of these kids, but that's a whole nother story. But anyway, they call him a fascist. And like, why is he a fascist? All he's doing is protesting against the medicalization of youths who are have some gender nonconformity, or maybe, you know, have a little bit different, maybe tomboys, or maybe just, you know, slightly effeminate. And most of them, it is 89% of kids who have any form of gender questioning or dysphoria, what they call desist. They desist when they go through puberty. A lot of them end up just being gay. But now they're trying to medicalize all these kids and doing, puberty blockers and hormones and cutting off body parts and reforming new body parts and all this other shit to kids who probably would just go through the phase and they'd be done with it when they get through puberty and they discover, oh, I'm gay. Okay, you're gay. See, it's okay. Whatever. But they're just, anyway. I'm going to have Chris on the show one of these days, but they always, and I said, I love how they always jump to fascist, another term that has only one meaning: opinions that conflict with mine. And on that note, I'm going to end the show. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, sandwich boards, a number one signifier of fascism. Yes, it is, absolutely. And because this new Italian premier has some conservative ideas, they're starting to call her a fascist too. But, I think everyone needs to rethink their definition of fascism. That's what I say, and I'm sticking to it. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to go because I'm really late. But thank you for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. I'm back here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. And thank you to our sponsors today, James Colley and Gun Fox and Jimmy Das Hotep and Damien Gershwin. But isn't that you, Tyre? Wait, Damien Gershwin's a different person. Damien, thank you. Wait, I get mixed up. I always think it's the CEO of FGG Farms, but anyway, I get it mixed up. Anyway, I hope you all have a great week and a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining me. I gotta go. My name's Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have something you'd like to make a beat, or I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.